All right, hello everyone, and welcome in to MREK Grandmaster Cup once again in the round of 16, getting our number 1 seed versus 16 seed matchup here in Maliszewski versus Coreanmaluco. Coreanmaluco qualifying in as the very last player during the qualifiers, and Maliszewski as the first seed, slated to win the tournament out of qualifiers. I'm Dio. I've been doing quite a bit for this tournament, been a little all over the place, and I'm joined by Bitterheat for this match. Good afternoon, Bitterheat.
Good afternoon. Pleasure to be here.
So, waiting on just rolls and picks and bans from both of these players, but honestly, I think the expectation for this match is for Maliszewski to come out probably with a clean sweep. Wanted to go over the map pool a little bit. It's pretty standard overall. Did you get a chance to look at this as well?
Yeah, fairly standard format as you usually see in any other tournament. No 1.5 speed, no 1.6 gimmick. Hidden 2 varies a little bit. Less reading, a bit more tech oriented. But Maliszewski definitely an all-round player. It's going to be Coreanmaluco's strongest picks where it really matters.
Yeah, there were a couple of maps during qualifiers where Coreanmaluco did have better scores. The Hard Rock 1 and Hard Rock 2 in qualifiers, the DT 2 and 3 during qualifiers, but that was really it. And those are only 4 maps in this pool. They do line up pretty well with what we had in qualifiers at the time, with Hard Rock Aim, Hard Rock Precision, DT Speed, and DT Burst high BPM speed in all of those spots once again. But you get 2 bans in this match, and so for Coreanmaluco, that leaves 2 maps for him to pick effectively, which does make things a bit more difficult for him if he does want to find an upset in this match. That said, that's not the expectation here. The expectation is for Maliszewski to clean sweep. So if he is winning a couple of picks here and there, I think he's doing pretty well for himself in this matchup.
Definitely. If I was in Coreanmaluco's shoes, I'd be in the mindset of trying to have as much fun with this match as possible, knowing that this is kind of a losing matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Nomod 6 ban from Coreanmaluco, definitely not a low approach rate player, very bad at that skill set. In fact, I think that's really the one thing he's super uncomfortable on. So kind of expecting the hidden 2 ban next up as well. DT3 early ban from Maliszewski, again, had a pretty rough time on DT3 in qualifiers. I think dropped like 150k on that map. Coreanmaluco dropping 190k. It's just a hard map overall, honestly. But Maliszewski definitely having a tougher time on speed than Coreanmaluco, and it is going to be the hidden 2 second ban for Coreanmaluco. Kind of expecting the DT2 second ban from Maliszewski now, there's not a lot that Maliszewski really needs to ban in this matchup, but it's going to be Nomod 5 instead, actually, another speed map in this pool.
Are double bans allowed in this tournament?
Yes, they are.
Against an all-round player, the best choice is probably just to ban the weaknesses. So Coreanmaluco's ban is definitely probably the best you can do at the moment.
We do get the Nomod 4 first pick for Maliszewski. Very slider-focused tech map in this pool. There are some difficult flowing sections. That's kind of unavoidable in any tech map. But really the main focus of this one is the sliders. Maliszewski, a player who's really known for how good he is at tech at the highest level in tournament. Somebody who pretty frequently is extremely good at getting very few slider ends dropped, even on some of the most difficult tech maps in the game. So really expecting him to put up a very good score on something like this. And did drop 523k on Ramsing in qualifiers, which is kind of the equivalent slider tech spot that we had in the qualifiers. And here we go into the first map. Both players off to an early okay start. Bit of an act gap right now in favor of maliszewski, but that'll probably even out over the course of the map.
Aim definitely the focus of this map. It'll come down to the misses, not so much the accuracy.
Early start with the rhythms here, and Coreanmaluco the first to miss. maliszewski completely tearing through the section. I think 2 missed slider ends in that whole section, and still holding on to the FC, of course. This is really what's expected on this pick, is for maliszewski to just steamroll his way through this Nomod 4. I don't think anybody is expecting Coreanmaluco to win on this map. And if you're Coreanmaluco, you're really just thinking, okay, do I want to pick into the double times first, or do I want to pick into some of the hard rocks first? Because this map is pretty much over, and luckily for Coreanmaluco, there are no tech hard rock picks. There is an alt rhythm focused hard rock pick, but it's still CS 6.5, so something that he should be relatively strong on anyway as a precision player. And well, maliszewski's still going with the full combo here. Halfway through the map, almost 97% accuracy, looking very, very good on this map so far.
Grandmaster Cup clearly just less comfortable with these fast sliders. A lot of slider misses, not even hitting like the middle of the slider and getting the 50. Whereas maliszewski showing us why he's the GOAT.
Yeah, pretty clear hidden 3 next pick for maliszewski, lined up very well after this map. You know Coreanmaluco is not a hidden player. You also know he's not particularly a tech player, and so you're just itching at the trigger, really, for a hidden 3 if you are maliszewski. And I think the first few picks in this match are going to be pretty easy for both of these players to go into, whether it ends up being the speed first pick for Coreanmaluco or the hard rock first pick, I don't think matters all too much. Finally a combo break for maliszewski as we get into the last quarter of the map, but the accuracy gap still well intact right now, 97.5 to 93.5 in favor of maliszewski right now. It's quite large. It's quite the gap. Mind the gap there. And almost a 300,000 score lead as well for maliszewski over Coreanmaluco right now, which is pretty huge given that that's almost double Coreanmaluco's score overall.
One final miss from maliszewski, but it's really not going to matter. Map was pretty much over about 20 seconds ago. And now we wait the next pick. Potentially hard rock will speed coming out. So DT2 maybe?
Yeah, I have to assume it's either speed or one of those hard rocks, and I get to see it in chat, so I already know that it's going to be the Double Time 2 Hide and Seek by James Landino, mapped by Mirage. Pretty famous map set overall. This time a lower difficulty in Double Time, AR 10.3 DT, with lots of finger control and some pretty long 245 BPM streams. Also the highest star rating in the pool at 8.05 stars for this pick.
Still can't really sleep on maliszewski's speed. He is a really good all-round player. So it's a little bit more in Coreanmaluco's favor, but could still go to maliszewski.
Yeah, I think all the maps in this pool are going to be tough for Coreanmaluco to win, just because, again, maliszewski with the skill cap is very, very strong on pretty much everything aside from, you know, the top level of speed, and despite this being the highest star rating in the pool, it is still easier than qualifiers. And this is only 245 BPM. It's not super high BPM, so you can expect a little bit of a higher score from maliszewski on this compared to something like the Double Time 3 from qualifiers where, well, pretty much everybody struggled.
Grandmaster's aim is really shaky. Not really going to matter as much on a DT pick where aim is not that important. but it could lead to that one miss that will change the course of the entire map.
And there's actually an over tap from Coreanmaluco. It looked like he misread the double as a triple and tried to tap it as a triple, but ended up note locking out of the next note and missing there. And Maliszewski's still on the 99% full combo at the moment, halfway through the map already, and the score lead taking off toward his side. Another miss to come out for Coreanmaluco here. And this is a really good score from Maliszewski already. He does not hit the spaced 1/3 there, but pretty much nobody is going to hit those throughout this entire match this weekend. So not really going to matter. Coreanmaluco hits the second set of 1/3, but the map is almost over. We're 3/4 of the way in. There's an 8% AC lead for Maliszewski on this, and yeah, unfortunately for Coreanmaluco, the ban's apparently well placed by Maliszewski. Did not want to play the DT3, did not want to play the Nomod 5, but completely fine with this double time 2. Gonna come out swinging with an early 2-0 breakpoint.
Another nearly double score.
Yeah, 300,000 score lead for Maliszewski. 8% almost accuracy lead for Maliszewski on that. Not a lot else to say. It's domination by the first seed in the 1 versus 16 matchup in round of 16 here. The expected outcome, honestly, for the first couple of picks is Maliszewski starting things off strong.
We go into Maliszewski's second pick. Really, he could pick anything if he really wants to.
I do think he'll avoid the hard rock, probably go into something like the Hidden 3. It is the second tech map left up in the pool, so I would be surprised to see him not pick it. And it looks like that is going to be the pick. It's Hypersonic by Eagle, map by Ascended, the Mach 5 difficulty. This one is a little bit less slider focused than something like the Nomod 4, a little bit more flow aim focused, so a bit of a more well-rounded tech map. If you started playing the game in 2014, 2013, 2015, this is kind of what tech means to you, more so than stuff like Ramsing, which some players might call slider vomit, for example. This one, much more, I think, well-rounded as a map with a lot of different styles of patterns, some finger control, some flow aim, some aim control, and some sliders. Again, this is kind of the Maliszewski special, is tech and hidden as well, is his preferred mod overall. So I expect him to do pretty well on this one. And Grandmaster not a hidden player, not particularly a tech player, though this is a little bit more accessible than the Nomod 4. It's still going to be a tough map for him to win up against somebody who specializes in both the mod and the skill set being tested on this map.
Perhaps the slightly simpler slider shapes being more helpful to Coreanmaluco. Still both holding the full combo.
Oh, there goes Coreanmaluco though on the back and forth pattern there. The back and forth aim control in this map that does repeat a lot of times right before some of the repeat sliders is really, really tough. Even if you know it's coming, it's still very tricky. Coreanmaluco breaking on it once again there at the end of the first KI time. 2/3 of the way into the map now. Still the FC intact for Maliszewski. 99% accuracy as well right now. You know, there's not a lot you can say at this point besides, yeah, it's Maliszewski doing Maliszewski things and winning every pick in round of 16. I mean, what else do you expect when you turn into a tournament where it's seed 1 versus 16 in the round of 16 and seed 1 is Maliszewski? He does not find the slider break there. That was Bancho. And he still holds on to the full combo. 99.3% accuracy right now for Maliszewski. Hits the wiggle streams, hits the cut streams, hits the back and forth sliders as well. Hits the very last wiggle stream just barely and pulls out the full combo on Hidden 3.
Oh wow. Insane score. I mean, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah, I mean, not much you can do if you're Coreanmaluco during that one. Not much you can do at all besides just move on to your next pick. It's hidden tech, and Maliszewski is pretty damn good at it. Our next pick is going to be the Hard Rock 2 for Coreanmaluco. This one is CS 8.45. Very, very high circle size Hard Rock, and I think this is something Grandmaster should be very, very strong on. He's a very good Hard Rock player, and a good precision player as well.
If this was a closer matchup, I'd definitely suggest maybe saving these somewhat safer picks for later in the match, just to alleviate some pressure. But it doesn't really matter when you're up against Maliszewski.
Yeah, no, I don't think this matters pretty much at all. You're going to want to pick your strongest picks immediately. Whether you're facing Maliszewski and down 3-0, or facing anyone else and down 3-0, you really just want to not lose any more points, right? You want to stop the bleeding and put yourself in the driver's seat at least a little bit in this match, because going down 4-0 in a best of 11 is pretty much a death sentence for any player. So if Coreanmaluco does lose this, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to find the comeback, and we get the tiniest circles in the tournament so far. The Hard Rock 2 in qualifiers was CS 7.8. This is CS 8.45 after Hard Rock. That CS 6.5 is before Hard Rock on this map. So yeah, good luck hitting these. Coreanmaluco, though, very, very strong Hard Rock player, very comfortable on the mod. Maybe not comfortable with CS 8.5, but comfortable with high circle size regardless. That said, Maliszewski still, again, cannot be underestimated on pretty much any skill set. Still a very, very good player. Seed 1 out of qualifiers for a reason, but this is one of the very few areas where Coreanmaluco might have an edge in this matchup.
In my experience, I've noticed that precision picks tend to be more RNG, more random result. It all depends on nerves, because it's just, even if you miss aim even slightly, that could be a loss. And as you can see, oh, never mind, they train it back.
Yeah, Maliszewski missing first, Coreanmaluco missing right afterwards, so ever so slight combo lead for Maliszewski, but AC lead for Coreanmaluco as well, 99.5% accuracy right now to the 99 of Maliszewski. And another slider break to come through for Maliszewski now, as we get a little bit more of a score lead thrown together here for Coreanmaluco. Another slider break for Maliszewski there, as the spacing steadily increases. Coreanmaluco also going to find the slider break, but up about 30k at the moment. Another miss to come through for him, and Maliszewski to hold on. Two more misses for Coreanmaluco. Another one dropped there, and the consistency we saw from Coreanmaluco near the start of the map seems to be falling apart a little bit, as Maliszewski taking up that consistency mantle and holding onto the combo. Now, almost in possession of score lead, but he does drop the combo right beforehand. It's a back and forth between both of these players, as neither of them is really able to hold on to much combo at all. Coreanmaluco to find the next miss, and the score lead to go over to Maliszewski with another miss from Coreanmaluco now. It's extremely close, but these continued misses from Coreanmaluco in the back half of the map might just do him in, and the one area we said Coreanmaluco might have the advantage seems to be going the way of Maliszewski anyway. He holds on to the combo when it matters near the end of the map, and when all is said and done, it's an over 50,000 score lead for Maliszewski at the end of the map. Very well played in the back half.
Unlucky for Coreanmaluco. It definitely could have went either way, although looking at the miscount, I mean, something clearly went wrong on Coreanmaluco's side.
Could have just been nerves, could have just been inconsistency. You can't really know just from watching, but yeah, unfortunately, that second half of the map really, really not what Coreanmaluco needed at all. Extremely good accuracy otherwise, besides the misses. 3-100s, 350s, much better AC than Maliszewski outside the misses, but 2 misses to 13 is quite a gap there, and Maliszewski will end up taking the point because of it.
It's not looking good. The spectator in me was begging for Coreanmaluco to make a godlike comeback for the content, but it's probably not going to happen.
No, unfortunately, being down 4-0 against Maliszewski in round of 16 is really not where you want to be. And he's not slowing down either. The next pick for maliszewski is going to be this hidden one. Again, hidden, the preferred mod for maliszewski. Awkward aim, something he is incredibly good at as well. Pretty much the only player to rival someone like Zudinator on hidden awkward aim in tournament. And, well, Coreanmaluco, not a hidden player. He's quite the good aim player still. Does have a lot of really, really good DT aim scores, but not hidden awkward aim in particular. Not really the specialty for him. So not expecting this one to turn up heads for Coreanmaluco. I think this is a really strong pick for maliszewski. You're maybe looking at Nomod 3 or Hard Rock 3 as a next pick for him. You know, continuing with the kind of technically focused picks. This map pretty much filled with wide angle jumps, linear patterns, a lot of anti-aim patterns as well. You know, sorts of jumps that go from very high to very low spacing and back to very high spacing again, like these linear jumps right here. It can be very, very difficult to hit these easily. Right now, the score is pretty much tied between both of these players. Identical accuracy, still both holding on to the full combo as well. And Grandmaster doing a lot better than I expected out of the gate on this map. Just looking really, really consistent right alongside maliszewski at the moment.
A map like Hidden One, this awkward aim, tends to favor mechanics-oriented players, and both of these players have solid mechanics, so not that surprising, although Coreanmaluco drops a single miss.
Yeah, one miss on the super high spacing wide angle jumps is not super surprising. Again, this is really, really difficult during the KI times. These anti-aim patterns catching Coreanmaluco off as well. And maliszewski still on the FC at the moment. Has a double S on this on the leaderboard apparently. And looking quite good. Looking quite good at the moment. Coreanmaluco no longer with the full combo, and FC still intact halfway through the map for maliszewski. It seems like this is going very, very well for him. Already over 100,000 score in the lead.
As we approach the halfway point, Coreanmaluco missing again. Hope is going down. Coreanmaluco is going to need to FC the rest of the map, and maliszewski will need to break if Coreanmaluco is to match maliszewski's max combo. As the seconds pass, the chances are diminishing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even know if he can do that at this point. I don't think there's 1,000 combo left in this map. And maliszewski would have to miss right now with Coreanmaluco FCing everything from here on. And even then, it might not be enough. I think you'd probably need multiple misses from maliszewski during the last quarter and Coreanmaluco to FC all of it, which is a pretty tall ask of anyone. This ending is extremely hard, much more difficult than the first KI time. There goes Coreanmaluco. There goes any hope of a comeback on this map. It is going to be 5-0 at the end of this. maliszewski's still holding the FC right now, still going strong. No need for any padding on the score at all. Holds through the spaced 1/3, holds again through the linears and anti-aim patterns. Can he close out the FC? He's still holding through even more of these ridiculous patterns. The aim on this is so awkward. If this looks easy to you, I encourage you to try it in solo, because I guarantee you'll get like 30k if you're watching in chat right now. This map is really, really hard, and for maliszewski to FC with this kind of act in tournament, one try, is absolutely absurd. Over 1.06 million, which is a little bit of extra score from spinners, because the hidden multiplier is only 1.06, so that is above hidden multiplier SS on a map with no spinners. Really, really incredible score from maliszewski, only 3x100 on the FC.
Typical maliszewski behavior, really. And if he had an SS on that map, on the leaderboard, that's not even his best score, so What are you gonna do? Pick DT1 apparently.
Yeah, pick double time 1, I guess. Coreanmaluco is a really, really good DT aim player. I think this is a good pick for him. That said, this is AR 8.5 with DT. It's only AR 10. This is the only custom map in the pool, custom mapped by Nanoya for this round. And it's pretty stock standard. There are a couple of awkward patterns in this map, but it's mostly pretty comfortable DT aim at relatively accessible BPM for most DT players, only 255 BPM. It is OD 10.4, so you do still get that higher OD on this map after double time, but the patterns are very stock standard, not a lot to write home about on this map. If you have good DT aim, you will be very comfortable on this. And you don't even need the high approach rate reading that you would usually expect out of a DT1 because it is only AR 10 after double time.
Do you like some Toho music?
I think this is the only Toho song in the pool, actually.
Maybe you need more.
I don't know if we do personally.
Oh wait, no, Satori Dapon? Is that Toho?
That might be.
115?
Yeah, that might be. I don't know. All right, looks like we are getting into it now, and we should be ready to go for double time 1. Again, the one custom map in the pool, thanks to Nanoya. And this is not 5.4 stars. This is, in fact, 7.72 stars after double time.
Maliszewski at match point. So last chance for Coreanmaluco to get a point on the board.
Both players actually finding misses there at pretty much the same time. It's just the act difference right now doing work for Maliszewski with a little bit of a score lead. Neither of them able to hold on to the full combo during that first Ki time. This does keep things close for Coreanmaluco despite the early oh my god, what is that miss? Oh, wow.
No.
Oh my god. Well, my bad, guys. Guess it doesn't keep things close for Coreanmaluco. That's unfortunate. Big score lead now for Maliszewski, or big combo lead, actually. Only about 160, and make that 260 combo lead for Maliszewski now, as Coreanmaluco finds another miss at the start of this Ki time, and we're rapidly running out of time here for Coreanmaluco to take this point.
Still a third. I guess 100k in DT, it's not quite as much, although is yet another miss.
Yeah, I think this might be basically over at this point. There's only a quarter of the map left. Maliszewski's still with about a 400 combo lead and a 180,000 score lead now, over 200,000 actually. And Coreanmaluco missing again. That will be GG. That is the 6-0 sweep for the #1 seed in the tournament, as if there were ever any doubt that he would win this match. 6-0 clean over Coreanmaluco.
It's all about sending a message to his next opponents, Maliszewski.
Yeah, nothing that Coreanmaluco could do in this matchup. It was just the Maliszewski show the entire time. Some good scores and some close scores from Coreanmaluco, particularly on the Hard Rock 2. He looked quite good on that map, but otherwise it was just some serious gappage from Maliszewski, and that's kind of what you expect in these early rounds, is for the #1 seed to be gapping everyone until maybe quarterfinals or semifinals.
Another nearly double score for Maliszewski. I guess Coreanmaluco was just hoping for maybe 1 point, maybe 2 points, relying on the Hard Rock 2. Unfortunately, didn't go his way, but I'm sure he's not that disappointed about it.
No, I mean, I think the expectation for this match was for Coreanmaluco to lose and to get swept, and he was hoping to take a point on any map, really. I think that was really the goal for Coreanmaluco in this match, is to take 1 point Unfortunately, not accomplishing that goal, but who can blame him? Maliszewski, effectively the best tournament player in the world outside mrekk in 1v1s. And even then, that title is kind of contested between the two of them. It's been mrekk winning their 1v1s recently, but Maliszewski with historically better win rate up in the 1v1s. So, contestedly the best tournament player in the world right now for Maliszewski, and showing it off once again in this early round of 16 match. That is going to do it for us for now. We've got about a half-hour break until the next match starts. That is going to be at 19 UTC in 30 minutes, and that matchup is going to be between Vaxe and Nahus, the rank 5 player from Poland versus the former tournament GOAT in Vaxe from the United States. So stick around for that match. It's going to be a good one, regardless of the seeding of both of these players. I think that's one you won't want to miss. So thank you all for watching. Thank you again to Bitterheat for casting with me and to The Hunter for reffing. Congratulations to Maliszewski for moving on in the winner's bracket, and good luck to Coreanmaluco in the loser's bracket. We'll see you all back here in about 30 minutes for Vaxe versus Nahus.
Good fun. Goodbye.